Hey, it's Katie Jones. I'm going to talk about how I use Jungian styles, also referred to as Myers-Briggs types, to support folks with different preferences, whether I know their preferences or not. But using this tool really helps me to improve my work with coworkers and facilitate communication. So the second letter of our Myers-Briggs type is sensing or intuition. That's our perceiving function in Jungian language and Myers-Briggs language. So we perceive either starting with sensory information, the here and now, really specific detail information. So sensors, that's kind of a quick summary of what they look for. People that really thrive on the details and sort of speak and put information back into the world in chronological order. It's their natural preference. And so if we know that someone has a preference for sensing, or if we're picking up on these cues that they really might have challenge moving forward without details, or often ask questions around details, even when we as managers or coworkers feel like we're providing a good number of details, then this person might have a preference for sensing. And so it's really important to understand that and have empathy and be able to support our coworkers with those preferences. So if you think that someone you're working with has a preference for detail, some ways you can help support folks is to discuss specific timelines, specific information, boundaries, parameters of work that you have coming up. So sort of the who, what, when, where. They really might have ask a lot of questions there. And so we can do a better job oftentimes to support folks by providing those deadlines and next steps and pieces like that. And by also preparing for questions and understanding that folks might ask, deadlines, specific parameters for a project, if there's of course budget. And it has really helped me as a manager and as a coworker to think with that frame in mind, where it's not my natural preference, but it's helped to support me in my professional growth. On the flip side, or on the other side of that sort of pole in Jung's work, is preference for intuition. And so that's the N. If you think about Myers-Briggs language, intuition. And so these folks have more of a big picture view, less detailed, less specific. It takes a little more energy to really focus on the details, and they might get stressed out by too much focus on details, but they're energized by dreaming, what if, what could be, and staying in that big picture world. So if we know that about a person, or if we're thinking about projects, especially at the outset, it's important to allow time to think big picture and to imagine and to sort of some people might say brainstorm, some people don't love that language, but how to dream big picture and think about what if, what could be, consider outside of the box and outside of the parameters, how might we change this up? People with an intuition preference also often connect ideas and themes rather than connecting by specific chronological details. And they might prefer to live in that future rather than what is. It's like that what if mindset. So we can really help support folks with an intuitive preference, and we can not limit ourselves in projects to make sure that we're considering that what if and allowing for time to think outside of the box can really energize a person with the intuitive preference. Those are a couple of ways that I use this second letter, as we say in Myers-Briggs. And it's it can often be called the arrogant dichotomy, because it's the information that we like and trust. So there can be a lot of conflict here. But if we can leverage that knowledge about sensing or intuition preferences, then we can really help ourselves grow professionally and support our teammates. Thanks so much.